something happened to Joe today. Anything happened to Joe today?
Offense, control the line of scrimmage. Be dominant. Communicate up front. Dominate with our size and athleticism. Ain't no time now to worry about what the outcome is. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play.
Need a horn and a drum roll.
Never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Season's over. A different time. I told you they remember November. But December's our time. December's we do what we do. That's Florida State time. We're back where we belong.
Let's get it on. Need a horn. Break it down.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Just change.
gonna either win 388 games or I'm gonna win 389. Neither one of them throw me over the hump or nothing. Unless something happened to Joe today. Anything happened to Joe today?
Offense, control the line of scrimmage. Be dominant. Communicate up front. Dominate with our size and athleticism. Ain't no time now to worry about what the outcome is. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play.
Need a horn and a drum roll.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Season's over. It's a different time. I told you they remember November. But December's our time. December's we do what we do. That's Florida State time. We're back where we belong.
Let's get it on. Need a horn to break it down.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Just change.
All right. Sorry for the delay. My food came like right on time. And here we are. Man, oh man. Where do you start in this one? What is going on, everybody? It's your boy POLK, a.k.a. a.k.a. the goddamn truth. And like I say, man, win, lose, or draw, we in here. FSU's now 4-1 on the season. I know where to start because I don't know, man. It's pretty obvious to me. It's pretty obvious to me with this game and what I saw. But before we hop in there, won't be no helmet stickers on here tonight. Not in the loss. Won't be no helmet stickers on here tonight. Before we get started, like always, man, we're gonna hit a roll call, and then I'm gonna just tell you what I saw. I'm gonna tell you why we lost this game. I'm gonna tell you, ultimately, this is disappointing. And leading into, I mean, you're gonna watch two teams tonight that you're gonna play in the next 2 weeks, both of them. So there's a gut check here, right? There's a gut check at this point with losing this game because I thought this was the most winnable game of the three. But it has a lot to do with who they're trotting out there. And everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to want to point blame. I know how this game goes. I know how this thing works. We'll get into it, but let's get a roll call in, and I'll get into it. Let's start. Oh, y'all been killing the comments, so I ain't gonna scroll all the way up. I'm just gonna start at a random spot. And here, I'll start at the weekend in the building. Irv Gotti, member 863 Tribe, Ben Callahan, R. Davius Hall, Joe Johnson, Lubin, Raymond, Marvin Barnes, Island Boy, Todd Pope, Panama Jack, Slade, Anthony, Irv Gotti, member. I think did I say you already, Irv? It don't matter. Member 863 Tribe, Brain Tick, Corey Hall, Panama, Hannes, Shane Smith, Raymond James, Kenny Hayden, Will, Mr. H, Jeremiah, Sane 305, Tyler Head, member 863 Tribe, Gerald Roper, Stead the Troll Harris, what's up? CJ, Tara, member 863 Tribe, Champs 99, Jimmy Johnson, Joe Johnson, FSU Rose, member 863 Tribe. Stead says it could have been, well, we lost to a quality ranked team today. We lost to a quality ranked team. Obviously, we ain't lose to no Middle Tennessee State that also got their breaks beat off of them by who they sent, San Antonio, whatever, UTSA. So, man, shout out to Stead with the 199.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Insane Mob, VJ, member 863 Tribe, Mama, Priscilla Chestnuts, Perry, Mr. Orr, AMC Noel, Vontae B, Zozuki, and Ice Cold Noel, and so on and so on. The Land. And if I miss you, I just miss you, but I ain't gonna miss this one. Groit says $20 for $20 donation first and foremost. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Says I agree with the personnel choice being iffy. Hoping to split the next two. Well, I think you have to. Woof, at this point, you gotta at least win one of these next two, right? Appreciate the $20, man.
Yeah, more money. Yeah, more money. Yeah.
All right, so where do you start? Well, it all starts in that first half, right? It starts with the defense. And I said it during the halftime. And so the exact opposite happened in the second half. We started winning one-on-one matchups, especially in the front four, front seven. That's what changed the halftime. After halftime, that's what changed in that second half. All of a sudden, Patrick Payton, Joshua Farmer, Tatum, when they went, and this is what the big issue is. This is where you get to the real heart of the problem, was the personnel. When we started seeing less of DJ Lundy and less of Leonard Warner, all of a sudden, guys were matching up pretty well. Guys could beat their guys one-on-one. That's what I called for in the second half during halftime. That's what I called for. And that's what they did. And it's no shock to me that was the result we got in the second half. So any questions about play calling should probably be thrown out the window. I'm gonna say this, and when Verse gets first of all, to me, and this is just me, I'm not on the staff, obviously. I'm not a doctor in that facility. Verse looks healthy enough to me that he could have played every snap. But again, that's just me. But when Verse is 100% healthy, number 9 should not start opposite of him. Patrick Payton right now is a better player than number 9. Just go watch the tape. You don't have to like it. You don't have to believe it. Just go watch the tape. Patrick Payton is a better complement and just a better player, period, than anything that D-Mac is giving you right now. D-Mac's not giving you much of anything, guys. I hate to say it like that because I thought this dude was going to come in this year and have a renaissance year, if I may say. But holy cow, he's not making any impact for the starting left end or whatever end he's playing. Patrick Payton has been more impactful in the last 2 games than D-Mac has been all season. 56 needs to be starting. He's better, more productive, makes a bigger impact. It just is what it is. You don't have to, again, I know we like these guys personally. Some of us like these guys. I understand that. I am not going to sit here and say that D-Mac's any bad thing about D-Mac. I'm simply talking about what you do in between these white lines on Saturdays for 60 minutes. And when I talk about that is nothing personal. That just is what it is. And D-Mac ain't it. He ain't it. Number 9's not getting it done. I don't know if he got to look in the mirror or he just ain't got it, but he not getting it done. 56 is. 56 making more plays. When 5 is healthy, that needs to be your 2 starting ends. That needs to be your 2 starting ends. Dennis Briggs has not made the transition to DN very well, in my opinion, either. I expected more from Briggs, and we're not getting it done there. But it's the personnel, man. It's the personnel decisions. We needed to see 56 way earlier than we did. I don't think we saw much of 35 at all in the second half. Saw a lot more of Patrick Payton, didn't you? Is that any coincidence? I don't think it is. So when I say it's a gut check time, this is what I mean. It's time for the staff, who I'm not going to necessarily blame for this loss. Ultimately, you're the head coach, man. You get to blame when you lose. You get to praise when you win. So that's going to happen regardless. What I'm going to do, though, is tell the coaching staff it's time to look in the mirror and say it's feelings no longer matter. Jarian, I'm not going to come down on you hard in this game, Jarian, but it's not a coincidence that when 20's in the game, they may have tried to throw at him, and he's a true freshman, by the way. They only tried to throw at him, maybe once or twice? But anytime 7's in the game, that's the first thing teams do is go over the top and try to hit pick on him. It's time to look at these players and go, feelings kind of no longer matter. 56 needs more playing time. Quite frankly, 56 needs to be in the starting rotation. Again, Bethune is another one where it's like, You're telling me he's hurt, but him being banged up is a better player than DJ Lundy. He's a better player than Lundy. So I don't know how hurt Bethune is, but he was 10 times better than what you were getting out of Lundy. When you started seeing less of Lundy, more Bethune, and more Verse, more Patrick Payton, you started seeing a better defensive effort. And quite frankly, in the second half, the defense kind of locked down, which again went back to what I said. The defense was in position. They just got to make plays. If Greedy Vance makes that interception, we might be having a different conversation here right now. A play that you should have had, Greedy Vance. We might be having a... We didn't win our one-on-ones. We didn't win our individual matchups, especially in that first half. Speaking on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to get to the offense here in a minute. Offense kind of is something similar, but I'll get to the offense here in a minute. But I want to start with the defense because we held this team to 31 points. That was enough to win this game. I thought we would hold them to 28. An extra field goal wasn't. That was enough to win this game. It wasn't the defensive play calling. It was some of the personnel use, which if you want to put that on the coach, absolutely go ahead. But ultimately, man, Florida State football players have to be able to beat Wake Forest football players in one-on-one matchups. Florida State football players got to be able to intercept footballs that come right to them and not get mossed over the back in one-on-one matchups. That's just what it is. And some of these guys, recruiting, bro. Some of these guys probably shouldn't be on this roster if we're just being hard. If we're just being honest. Some of these guys, bro. Recruiting, portal. Continue to hit it, Mike. Continue to recruit. You're recruiting well. You continue to hit the portal. You've been doing that well so far because some of these guys don't look like Florida State football players, man. If we're just be honest about that. Now, if we move to the offensive side of the ball, and don't worry, I'll get to the comments here in a section, but I'm flowing right now. I want to keep going. If we move to the offensive side of the ball, it's similar. And I know people are going to want to talk about play calling here. Man, same stuff we've been calling all year that's been working. You know what killed us in this game? Our tackles. Our tackles were abysmal. Specifically, now Turrentine wasn't perfect, but he played a hell of a lot of a better game than damn it 76. And again, I hate to say this. 76 is a kid that I root for. But holy cow, at what point does a player kill one drive? 76 killed your entire drive where you had a chance to make that game 28. You had a chance to make that game right. Then we were moving to tie that game up 28-28, if I'm not mistaken. And 76 in one drive gets a false start, a hold, and that gets blown up on a play that Jordan Travis gets sacked on. 76 killed an entire drive by himself. How much did you have to watch from 76? Then you say, man, I do have this freshman who we've raved about for an entire offseason. Let me get that guy in here. Because he can't be any worse than what 76 was giving me this game. Had a chance to tie the game. We were driving. That good play to Pokey down there. I think we were going to be within the 5, and it gets called back for holding. A blatant hold. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, why are we? Look, I get it. You just can't plug and pull players, and I get all of that. There's emotion and there's confidence involved, and you might need to go back to 76 sometime. I get all of that. But damn it, the man didn't play well the entire game. He did not have a good game. It wasn't just one drive. It wasn't just one or two plays. At what point do you look at 76 and go, I'm going to give Julian Armella a chance? I see you, Irv. Let me get to the super chat and I'll continue. Irv with the $8 donation. Appreciate you. Says Wake is a very good and well-coached team. That they are. But they have been benefited from the COVID. Bro, they got a team full of 30-year-olds. And that's not even a lie. And I'm not even here to make excuses because even with all that said, we were in position to win this game. But they do have like a team full of 25 and 26-year-olds. But yeah, man, I hear you.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Now we're not in a position. Again, Turntine did not play great himself. Again, the tackles as a whole were not good. But Turntine wasn't as bad as Darius was. And at some point, I think you gotta try something new. What's up, man? You gotta try something new. At some point, we can't get Robert Scott back here soon enough. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know. You don't feel comfortable with the freshman? Offensively, man, our O-line let us down. Micah Pittman, he had the game that I think Friday when we did this, I did this Thursday or Friday when I predicted the wide receiver for this game, we picked Micah Pittman, and he delivered. Jordan Travis, we'll get to the stats here in a minute. Another damn good, and what is probably might have been his most inconsistent game. Still had a damn good game. Still one of the better quarterbacks in the ACC, man. But the only play call-out question is the design run. First of all, it's obvious Travis doesn't have the same burst that he's had in years past. Okay, he's healthy enough to play the quarterback position. Probably not healthy enough to play the position that he's played the way he's played it prior. We don't need him to play that way, though. Okay? So I don't know why we calling this design run with him. I've been against that. We don't need to use his legs, especially if he's not the same type of runner. And then he gets the fumble. Trayshawn Ward fumble. It's like that second drive, man, set the tone for that offense. That they just came out after that first drive. I don't know what happened. And it's like they lost focus and we're fumbling the ball and we're doing all this extra stuff. Same thing that killed us last year came back and bit us this year with these turnovers. Penalties. We didn't play a clean game. So we didn't play a good game. And we only lost by 10. If we have a kicker, I don't know, maybe we have a little bit more confidence and maybe we get a little bit more points in this game. And I don't even want to talk about the kicker. But we did not play a great game today. And really any aspect. Over 10 penalties. Just an inconsistent game. Offensive line had their worst showing of the season by far. So you got to shore that up. I thought the tight ends played the best game of the season. With a combination of Douglas and McDonald. I thought that was the best game the tight ends, best game we've seen from a tight end group in a long time here. Unfortunately, it was in a loss. The receivers as a whole played well, in my opinion. I honestly think your offensive line let you down this game. I'm talking about offensively. I think your O-line let you down. Penalties let you down. Secondary, unfortunately, let you down. But the entire defense as a whole let you down in that first half. But again, once guys in that second half started winning their one-on-one matchups, once 20 was on the field and some other things happened, all of a sudden those big plays and all that stuff stopped happening. I said it on Thursday. I thought we would have success defensively because I didn't think they would be able to run the ball. Man, was I wrong on that. They ran the ball damn near at will today. Irv Gotti with another $5 says, is it me or the Wake O-line get away with a lot of holding? Well, they do that every game, though. Just the way they run it.
Yeah, more money. Yeah, more money.
But again, we want to talk about the holding. That's cool. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, Herb. But in the second half, we stopped to run a lot better, didn't we?
Daddy, like chicken.
Huh?
Like chicken.
Okay.
I don't know, eat chicken.
Okay. So this guy wants to dance in the back. Hold on. So ultimately, man, when you started winning your one-on-ones defensively, all of a sudden the defense started playing better. So that's really what it boils down to. Said it at halftime. Defensively, once you started winning your matchups, the defense as a whole played better. And then offensively, your O-line let you down. And because your O-line let you down, you couldn't really, Travis needs that. Travis, if you watch the way Jordan Travis is playing the game, he is trusting his offensive line. Well, the offensive line can't let as O-line, you can't let him down. So I guess I'll get to some comments now because that's the game, right? The game is boiled down just like that. I don't even know what else to tell you. Hypnotic says, I think with classes being canceled all week through them other regular routine, players are on the PS5 too much. Well, fans got to make that play. Period. You got to make that play. We need more film junkie. Man, we need more athletes. I don't know what we need more film junkie players for. We need athletes to win physical battles. I don't know what you watching, Joe. We need more film junkie players. Okay. Yeah, well, 4-1 isn't better than expected for me. I picked this team to win 9 games, so you can hang your hat on that. But hey, 4-1 isn't the end of the world by any means. But you got 2 more games. Those 2 teams play tonight. Top 10 matchup. You play NC State's either going to be riding real high off of tonight, or they're going to be a little bit physically battered, bruised, and beaten going into next week. Either way, next week becomes, I don't want to say a must. I really wanted to get out of this 2-1. Don't know how likely that looks now that you lost to my opinion, the one game that I thought was the easiest one to win, I guess. But I'm not completely sold on NC State. I don't know if that game's even started yet. Obviously, I'm here. I'm not completely sold on them. So NC State might still be winnable, but not if Darius Washington is going to play like that. If you couldn't block Wake, you're not blocking that NC State front four, Darius Washington, Jastin Turrentine. If you can't block Wake, you can't block those boys on NC State. I'm just going to let you know that right now. We need Fabian Lovett back. I mean, if he's not the most glaring like our tackles have drastically fallen off with Lovett being out. Drastically. It was a great rotation as long as Lovett was healthy, because it's like, because your second and third guys can come in after being worn. But now you asking those guys to play like ones, and they can't do it. They can't do it. But 4-1, good record. Just let's not let it get to 4-3. That's what I don't want. That's where I think this thing can kind of revert back to previous years. Beat one of these teams. We got to beat one of these next 2 teams. Let's see. Tyler says, after a win, it feels like we'll never lose again. After a loss, it feels like we never win again. Just a bad game. It was bad. Bound to happen. Our only mistake was not having a backup kicker ready. Fitz cost us 10 points today. Damn shame this game was there for the taking. Yep, needs better players on the back end who can win those one-on-ones. Talk about the safeties, man. So far back. How do you want them to play? See, this is where. But I'm not I don't run from the smoke. If you're gonna question the safety play, how did you want them to play? Because did you want them to not have too high? Because I thought that's what we said. We wanted cover 2, man on the outside, 2 safeties, because we thought we were good enough to stop the run. And again, we started stopping the run once they started winning those one-on-one matchups. But how did you want the safeties to play? You want them in the box the whole game so that our DBs could then further be exposed down the field? I'm just curious of what do we want? I mean, you can't let them. What are they supposed to do? Priscilla, cry? Can't let them. You can't cry over it. You took an L. Time to move on. I mean, I don't know. How do y'all want them to act? I don't know, man. We're at that point. This is beautiful. It's okay though. It's the first loss of the season, so we're at that point where everybody's trying to dissect body language and how players are supposed to act in a loss and what we are supposed to do in this situation. There's one loss, guys. Not all those players were highly recruited. That's not true. Greedy Vance is not highly recruited. D-Mac was not highly recruited. I can go down the list of guys who weren't highly recruited. That is absolutely not true. We stand much to gain by recruiting a better caliber of athlete here. Man, ain't nobody worried about them guys. Them guys lost to Middle Tennessee. We lost to a ranked Wake Forest team who threw up 40-some on Clemson last week, and we held them to 31. I mean, come on, bro. You comparing pineapples and grapefruits. They're not even in our category, bro. Definitely need to get healthy. Anthony says Briggs is a bum. He's always been. That's actually true. Well, I think Lovett being hurt is telling. No, can't. I don't think he can. He says, man, we should be heavy in the D tackle recruiting for the next 2 years. Yeah. The numbers wise, man, again, it's if we could have just contained the run, bro. If we could have contained the run, we would have been okay. We would have been okay. They made no plays on the back end because Wake didn't take any shots deep, which is what we wanted. We didn't want them taking shots deep with those receivers. You move them in the box, now they got one-on-one. I mean, bro, I don't like to question people's knowledge, but like what you do understand when you do one, you give up the other, and vice versa. Like, I don't know. We might beat NC State, not Clemson, and about how their attitudes after loss have to have a short memory in sports. They were in danger of getting starched when it was 28-7, man. They fought back. I don't disagree, Marius. They think they're back because we lost? That's sad. I'm not. You're upset of a loss, but I'm not. It's not the worst thing to happen. I still watch this team and I go, this team's still in a way better state than they were a year ago. They can handle a loss. I believe that. I also think they can look at this game and say, man, we beat ourselves and have to play better as a whole. Yeah, we starting. Well, you got some truth right there. They're starting a lot of backups, man. Darius Washington and Turrentine. I mean, Maurice Smith, he's playing. I still think Lyles would have been your starting center, but that's just me. Then on the defensive tackle rotation, you got Coop, and then you're rotating in the Malcolm Rays and the Jared Jacksons and the Joshua Farmers, right? Joshua Farmer's a redshirt freshman, guys. Like, you see Daniel Lyons is getting a true freshman Daniel Lyons. He's not even ready yet, but he's out there playing more snaps than he probably should be. And I ain't even coming down on Daniel Lyons. I'm just saying, go watch. That man was getting a lot of snaps. He was getting a lot of snaps last week. So we are at a position where we are playing more back. D-Mac, I mean, if we're being honest, D-Mac should be a backup. He shouldn't be a starter. I mean, there's some truth there in that comment, man, for real. I'm feeling pretty good, though, obviously, as you can see. I'm no longer sick. I feel like I got over that pretty good. I tested positive on, well, I felt my worst Tuesday. Tuesday is when I felt sick. Didn't get my results back till Wednesday. So I technically tested positive on Wednesday, but I was sick Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesdays were the worst days. Thursday, I was starting to feel better. Yesterday, I felt pretty good. And today, I don't even feel like I've been sick. Playing a bunch of second and third string guys, we are so injured. It was bound to catch up eventually. Why weren't we able to stop this delay run crap? It's all about attacking. From what I look at it, again, I don't coach against it, but I feel like players against this slow mesh, they wait for the decision instead of forcing the decision. And I can understand why you might not attack it because you attack wrong, and then that's a big play, right? But at some point, you got to force Wait to make decisions and hopefully force them to make bad ones at times. And it's just a situation where these guys wait and they wait and they wait and they wait. Well, your DBs can't cover forever. I mean, like, it's just it's a frustrating thing to watch. No, Ian Tyler's his opinion. I'm just asking, like, if you're talking about the D safeties didn't make no plays because they was pick your poison is all I'm saying. What do we want? Yeah, that's bro. I said that Thursday when there was like, how would you attack it? I don't know if Fuller watched, but he called the exact defense. I was like, yeah, I think this is the defense I would play if I was coaching against this Wake Up Forest offense. It's not, we played aggressive. He blitzed plenty. Man coverage on the out. Too high safety to eliminate any deep possibilities. So you didn't give up the big play. And they got everything they got on you was underneath stuff. The problem is you didn't win your one-on-ones up front, so they was able to run the ball when they needed to. Because if you're able to stop the run, all those short passes don't even amount to much. But they could run and mix in the short game. But now they can methodically move down the field on you, which ended up being the problem. But they attacked the defense the way I thought. Excuse me, they played defense the way I thought they should have. We just got to make plays, bro. Corey says they're in a better state for the next coach. Some of y'all still hanging on to that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Joshua Farmer did make a play. You know what I'm saying? When you start winning those one-on-ones, all of a sudden, I hate we lost, but they will not let this hang over to the next week. It's one loss. Let's just relax. I'm with you. Okay, guys. 10 and 27 are making plays all over the field and are perfect. My mistake. Yeah, I guess. No one said they were perfect. Just tell me what you would call D-Mac should be, he's definitely not big enough to be a D tackle. But yeah, he ain't at the end. Or not a starter. He would be a nice rotation piece, but the opportunities we miss are exactly what a team at this point of the rebuild should be expecting to miss. The trench struggles are exactly what a team with this many injuries should be expected to have. It sucks, but it's crazy. The only rebuttal I would have to you on that, Briley, at some point you got to trot out Armella. Like, I get it. We're facing injuries on your O-line, and I know I've said, hey, I don't want to see my freshman offensive linemen play if they don't have to. But from everything we've continued to hear is that Armella is not, he's a step above the other freshmen. And again, I don't know, man. You can't convince me that Armella would have played worse than Darius. Appreciate you. Yeah, and Peyton played great. Warner, come on, man. Warner's been in college for 5-6 years, bro. We already know that 4-star don't mean nothing for Leonard Warner. He was a 4-star linebacker who's now a DN. That tells you everything you need to know. Duke is not, he didn't play well today. But he hasn't played a lot this year. He's been hurt. And you can tell he's struggling with that injury. Don't know what to say about it. Bro, you gotta, don't ask me. I don't know how. No idea how long Lovett's out. Patrick Payton too small to be a D lineman. Yet Patrick Payton is 6'5", 240, and was making plays today. Go figure. Don't disagree, man. That's what I'm saying. At some point, you got to trot Julian Armella out there, bro. So I don't know what I saw, but holy crap, man. Wake Forest QB can't throw it all. They were playing a waiting game by holding the ball with the right. Well, that's how they played it. But he can throw. But that's how they play that offense. Kendrick with the $10, man. They say, I appreciate you, Pope. We played the right D, just missed too many tackles. Let me hold on. Let me cheer everybody up. How about this one? Figured I'd cheer y'all up. Jack says, I think we stay on the rankings. That's going to be a tough one. I think we'll drop out, bro. Norvell and Fuller got out-coached because out-coach is what lost this game. I'm not even here to cap for the coaches, but you didn't get out-coached in this game. Okay. I don't know if there was ever any real pressure on them, but I hear you. You won't get this for a bit, but I agree on Armella. But the guy who needs to sit is Jazz. Again, I think Jazz played better than Darius. So at what point, I mean, that's just me, though. Damn, look at William. Y'all boys was waiting for some of y'all boys was waiting for this loss. We beat two sorry teams. I don't know if you haven't been watching LSU, but yeah, they real sorry. Let me catch up in the chat. I'm kind of far behind. Then how do we defend that? The only positive is rushing them and let them think. How do we defend? Then how we defend that? Their offense, stop the run game. If they weren't able to run, if they weren't able to run as effectively as they did, all of a sudden that slow mesh don't even matter. Yeah, we weren't clowning Miami because they're not ranked. We were clowning them because they suck. They lost to Middle Tennessee State, and they didn't just lose. They got dominated by Middle Tennessee State. That's why we clown them. Who cares about them being ranked or not? They suck. I do think there was a must win for Wake, and they showed up. If we had Lovett and Verse, we would have shut. I think so. I think if we were healthy, and excuse me, and injuries is a part of the game. So I'm not saying you're using that as an excuse, Quentin, but injuries are a part of the game. Unfortunately, we are not healthy. But if we have Lovett and Verse on the field, bro, is so glaring. He has shocked me. I thought he would be a good player. I didn't know he would be just the physical freak. Like, you look at Verse, and he's just different than everybody on the D line. Only person that comes close to him in athleticism is Patrick Payton. Patrick Payton still got some more room to grow and get stronger. But Verse is just a physical freak. He's just a different type of animal. Go watch Lovett against LSU. Like, we're missing two really dynamic players in that front four, man. I put my hands up. There's some hot takes out here. I'm here for it though. If you say what you got to say, but don't get mad at me if I tell you that your take sucks. But I'm with your mama. Some of these takes. Again, turn team was not great today. Don't get me wrong. But the Peyton thing, I don't know. How's that game looking? Let me check. I'll pull up the stats here in a minute. Cause I think overall, man, I think we played the defense and the kicking game are bad. Well, we know the kicking game is bad. I'll tell you how you stop them. Getting pressure off the edge and actually finishing tackles. We didn't defend the mesh that poorly. Wake has scored 35 plus. If you actually look at the numbers, we actually defended them fairly well compared to what they're used to averaging. Travis played poorly. Well, damn, LSU was down 14-0 to Auburn. Come on, LSU. I was just sitting here telling people y'all were a good team, and y'all down 14-0 to Auburn. Holy cow. Making me look stupid. Damn, LSU Tigers. Travis, 23 for 35, 281, and 3 touchdowns, but he played poorly. I would say he played maybe his poorest game of the season. He got to the fame going to his – wow. Great. Keep the comments coming. A loss has actually made this entertaining. Keep the comments coming. Like, some of y'all's comments are amazing. Yeah. Patrick Payton had a sack, but he's too small to be on the D line. You know, we had guys out there doing some stuff, man. Versus a playmaker. With him rushing, he was sacking. Fuller has to go. The way he calls the game plan is too conservative on defense. Josh, I again don't know what defense you watched today, but they did not play it conservative today. Definitely Coop needs Fabo next to him. What's up, Matthew? I'm just reading comments, guys. Travis just wasn't a miracle worker today. Played okay, but he wasn't the big. No, I said his offensive line. Yeah, A&M got both raced by, and they beat Mississippi State, which is why I was like, LSU's a good team, but I don't know how they're down 14-0 to an Auburn team who somehow continues to hang on. But let's pull up these stats, man. I've read enough comments, and I would love to get y'all to keep giving these amazing football takes in here. I love it. One loss, and some of us are jumping off the bridge. Some of us are ready to jump into the, I don't even know. Some of y'all weren't on the bandwagon anyway, which I understand. It's like, some of y'all wanted Mike gone anyway. So for y'all, this loss is a chance for y'all to go. Let me share the screen. Whoops. There's one loss, though, guys. Like, yes, I wanted this loss. Excuse me. I wanted this win. Thought we could get this win. But I'm not going to. Hey, it happened. I mean, for all intents and purposes, man, Travis played a good game. You see these numbers. Played a good game. Him and Hartman. Hartman had a better QBR, but Travis has the better raw numbers. Ward had a good game. Shut up. But that's the problem right here. Look at this. Christian Turner and Justin Ellison, they ran for 171 on us. That's where we lost the football game. That is where we lost the football game. Even look at it. Micah Pittman and Johnny Wilson both did their thing. But we lost the football game right there, giving up. They ran 171. They ran the ball 51 times. Look how many plays they ran. 51 rushes, 34 passes. That's where we lost the game, man. We couldn't control the time of possession. Then you got the defensive stats up. Jamie had 13 tackles. Ronaldo Green, Dent. So 3 DBs led your team in tackling. Patrick Payton with a sack. Verse with a sack. Farmer with a sack. You got to have more from like Coop, McClendon. But yeah, there's your stats, man. If you would have told me, I don't know, man. You would have told me these offensive numbers, I would have said Florida State probably wins the game. If you'd have told me Travis outplayed Hartman, but it just didn't happen, guys. Let's get back to the stream. Loke. No, Armella didn't start. Travis doesn't run as much as he used to, nor does he need to, and obviously he's hurt. So we waited too late to attack on defense, and Ward and Wilson needs to be the main feature. You mean last year we played poorly? Last year versus this team, we lost big time. It was a decent this year. I need rum and tequila. I think the offense underestimated Wake's defense. I don't know about that. It's not Fuller's fault. Schemes were good. They just didn't tackle. I don't blame that on coaches. Them boys learning to tackle their whole lives. Hire Dion. Y'all friendship, and we got one loss, and y'all want Norvell fired. Well, a lot of them already wanted him fired, so that doesn't really matter. I think Norvell's trying to protect JT limits. He don't need to run him. Honestly, never thought we were out until even Never thought we were out until we ever got in the kicking situation. FSU had some uncharacteristic penalties for this season and a bad JT fumble. Go Noles. We need Greedy to come through for us with that pick or at least knock it away. But for the love of Mickey Andrews, don't get lost. I didn't understand why Norvell marked for Gerald after in the field goal. That's the only thing I'll question about the coaching-wise this game. I don't understand that either. I don't know why you didn't try to again, you leave the half with no points anyway. You were better off running 2 plays and trying to get some points. Well, I mean, it's easy to say that, but your offensive line wasn't doing its job this game. I agree with that. I said that at the beginning of the stream. 56 should start opposite of Jarrett Verse. Crazy, right? They ran 50 of those in the first half. Polk, this was almost like the Louisville game of last year. They just waited a half too long to figure it out. In the first half, not enough attacking and too much holding the offensive lineman and looking. Will says, I'm big on Mike. I think he's doing good for the most part. Don't get the people being so hard on him. Greedy Vance, you can't like somebody said, for the love of Mickey Andrews, man, you can't get mossed like that. Who's blaming him? I'm defending him. I don't know why people are saying Travis played bad. Don't know. How's that NC State Clemson game looking, guys? What's the score looking like? Anybody scored yet? Like, how we looking, man? Norvell didn't look ready today. Dion can't be worse. 3-0 Clemson. Okay, 3-0 Clemson. As the team gets healthy, the better the outcome. Too many key injuries. I mean, yeah, too many. I don't disagree, Gio. I mean, I don't know, man. Show me how many teams could be missing their best defensive tackle, their best defensive end, their best offensive lineman, or if not your best offensive lineman, your best tackle. I mean, good goddamn. All key injuries, all in the trenches. It ain't about making excuses. It's just the facts, right? It's just the facts. NC State is in the red zone. Okay. Yeah, I told you that last week. Decision making. Dennis Briggs quit quiet on the field. Warner sucks. And I agree. Briggs has not had the impact I thought he would have. Almost to the point where I'm at the point where I'm saying we might be better off moving Briggs back into D tackle. We are ignoring that Jordan Travis fumble. No, I talked about the fumble. Absolutely talked about it. Travis had that one or unfortunate play. That one play didn't cost us the game, though. We were not as good on third down. Again, we were not as good on third downs as we had been in previous weeks, and that just to me has a lot to do with the O-line, man. O-line was not good today. O-line was not good today. I agree with Briley. That one fumble isn't a trend. It's a one-off. It happened. Unfortunate. It happened. The kicking game, that's a trend. We know what that is. I don't disagree. I would probably like to see Gant in there more than Lundy. Is Feaster not a player? I don't know. Great question. Probably not. I was just carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. JT was, sorry. It's basically pitch and catch for Hartman as wide receivers converting their third downs in critical situations. Greedy Vance cost us the game with that missed INT. No blood. It says coaching cost us the game, guys. We're going to bounce back. We're going to beat either NC State or Clemson. We're too good not to. We got to win one of them. Again, I'll take 1 and 2. I'll take 1 and 2. I was hoping for 2 and 1. Obviously, 3 and 0 is not happening. We can't go 0 and 3, but I will take a 1 and 2. You talk if we leave the stretch 5 and 2, you still got games against Georgia Tech, W, Louisiana, W, Syracuse, W. I know they're a better team. It's still a W. That's still 8 wins. And miss me with look, it's a rivalry game, so the Miami and Florida games will be tough, but those are 50-50 games as far as I'm concerned. Agreed, Gio. Agreed. This is a bend, not break defense. QBs have too much time. QBs have too much time, too many times during the game. Second half was better. Could have been more aggressive and dialed up more blitz plays to get. I thought they dialed up more than enough blitz plays, Josh. Again, sometimes I don't know, but I don't know what we're watching. They dialed up more than enough blitz plays. They weren't even getting home on the blitzes. And then some of the blitzes where they tried to get home on, guess what? Pass interference. Well, luckily for us, we have not been in a position for it to cost us the game. We beat ourselves this game. Injuries caught up. No Scott, so Washington had a bad day. Plus, Lovett was needed. Lost on both lines of scrimmage, but win next 2 games. If we win the next 2 games, you're absolutely not wrong. If we win the next 2, I think that's a tough order. But we take it 1 game at a time and see if we can beat an NC State team. That's going to be a tough game for me. 3-3 game tied. Is it me or does Benson seem like he's been tiptoeing since the beginning of the season, y'all? I do agree with that. But that's D-Mac, man. D-Mac does that junk every single play. D-Mac plays himself out of position damn near man. You think Clemson's the most winnable game? Well, they're at home, so I might not disagree with that. Out of those 2 games, I think Clemson might actually be the most winnable game. I know they're the more talented team of the 2, but they're the home team, and their DB suck. You're forgetting another team before Florida, Louisiana. We only have, after these 3 games, or these next 2, you only have, 5 games left after that. Again, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Louisiana, Miami, Florida. I think we play Louisiana before Florida, I think. I don't know what the injury Lovett has. Obviously, it's more serious than we all thought. Side note, Georgia's losing to Mizzou. Hopefully that stands. Oh, my God. What? Yeah, that's the Louisiana game. I'm almost for certain there. Not into moral victories, but those boys were down 28-7, could have folded. Definitely have not taken any moral victories tonight, but I hear what you're saying. DBs don't have the awareness when the ball's in the air. So frustrating watching them not turn their heads when they're trailing receivers. I don't think DBs are taught to turn their heads. And D-Mac doesn't have a lot of things. But man, that's just what we did tonight. We beat ourselves though, in my opinion. I'm that is probably the one game I'm looking forward to watching next week. Yeah, he played too much. I know Coop isn't the stat guy, but it doesn't seem like he's being effective in my opinion. Not when you're able to just line up and run. Coop's there to clog the middle. And if you're getting pushed out of the middle of the play, well, Robert Cooper, you're not being as effective as you probably should be. This is a wake-up call, no pun intended, right? Yeah, I know we did. That's why I keep saying we should have did this. We blitzed damn near the whole game, bro. We just couldn't get home on any of them. We just couldn't get home. But ultimately, man, we beat ourselves. Bad penalties, bad tackle play, just bad trenches play on both sides of the ball. I still like where we're at as a team, mainly because our quarterback is still playing very good football. And as long as our quarterback's playing good football, I believe we have a chance to win every game we play. Okay? So as long as Jordan Travis still doing his damn thing, I feel pretty good. We got to again, if Scott can't get back, you give Armella the shot. I trust Alec Atkins, but you can't keep throwing out the same guys out there and getting the same results. You know what I'm saying? Got to mix it up soon. Huh? Hold on. So, man, things we got to clean up. This losing to this team ain't like some black eye. Like that is a good football team. That is a senior laden football team. Okay, that is a team that's gonna win 9 or 10 games. Wake Forest. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Tildock says, to be fair to Greedy, he was just in position for the INT, but that big guy just mossed him. Too small. It is always a great day, Dennis. I'm surprised to see you in here, man. You've been MIA for the last 2 weeks. Losing to A&M and then being embarrassed by that team y'all lost to last week. Man, I'm surprised you even in here now. Shout out to Dennis for finally showing his face. O-line got a block. O-line got a block, Ahmad. I'm going to bed believing this was an anomaly. Play cleaner, get healthier, tackle better. Hartman going to be in their senior citizen benefits next year. Losses like this will help more than hurt in the big picture. Wake was amazing on third down today, and Polk letting them run like was disgusting. But you also got to look at they held Clemson D line. Yeah, I know. But like clockwork, Tyler, they show up. Like clockwork. They disappear when they lose, but as soon as I told y'all, I said when something happens, they'll be back. Dennis showed his face. He finally showed his face after I thought Dennis fell off the face of the earth for a second. How can anybody be mad with 9-3 if we were to able to go? Like, how could anybody be upset with a 9-3 season? And if you look, that's what they're recruiting. They're recruiting taller, longer DBs. I'm not watching it right now, but once I get off of here, I'm gonna turn it on. I'm just trying to make sure I give y'all everything y'all want. There ain't no helmet sticker tonight, not in the loss. I haven't done the grades, so we can finish off with the grades. I see you, Nico. Who are you? Who the hell is Nico Jones? But you're gonna come in here talking about hold the L. Hold that subscribe button down is what you need to do. We couldn't get pressure on their QB, and our DBs need to learn to turn their heads around when the ball is in the air. Definitely somebody's burner. You can tell by the picture that it's somebody's burner. One of the Miami fans who don't want to show their face because they know they've been MIA, so they make a fake profile. Man, LSU is making me look bad. What is going on? That damn Brian Kelly. I wish trolls came with labels All these Miami fans need their shame next to their name. Shaheem Brown should be playing more. I don't disagree, but where do you want him to play, William? But I don't disagree. I feel like when Shaheem's in the game, he's one of those guys that has a nose for the ball. He gets around stuff and he can make things happen. Oh my God. What do you want, man?
Why don't put the TV downstairs in your room?
Tell Dre to put it on for you. I'm upset we lost, but didn't lose to a bad team. Right. It's not like you didn't lose to Middle Tennessee State. So, bro, you lost to a team that's been ranked since the start of the season. Team that went blow for blow with Clemson last week in 2 overtimes. Like, bro, you didn't lose to a bad team today. And you didn't get embarrassed either. You didn't play well. But at one point, you were about to tie this thing up. And then Darius Washington happened, unfortunately. It happened. And I do believe you can get better. I do believe you will get better. And a lot of that has to come with getting healthier. But we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I wanted this one because I thought this one was the most winnable of the 3. But you didn't get it. So now it's on to the next one. Can you go into NC State in a hostile environment and get you one? If you can win next week's game, now I think you did. Because I still say every game is 50-50 at least. Every game's winnable. No stickers. First game that we shot ourselves in the foot over and over again. Health, man. Health. Gotta get healthy. Pittman he would have. If we would have won, we would have got one, but he's not getting no one. I'm not putting the helmet. I'm not putting the tomahawk on the helmet tonight. So we'll do the quick grades here, man, and then we'll get out of here. Unless there's anything y'all want to continue to go over, but I'll do just position by position. And I thought the quarterback, man, Jordan Travis gets a solid B. I thought he played well. I did not think he was helped out by his offensive line. He did have the fumble, which knocks the grade down a little bit. And I thought I do think there were some passes that he forced. Like that one pass to Cam McDonald, where Cam McDonald was like triple teamed and he threw that pass in the end zone. I don't know where Jordan was really looking there. But overall, man, I thought Jordan Travis had a B game. I thought the running backs, I'm going to say C. Trayshawn Ward played fairly well. We didn't get anything out of anybody else outside of him. We also didn't run it a ton. Solid C, man. Because another fumble there, right? Trayshawn Ward fumbles also. So Travis fumble, Ward fumbles. We could have got something more out of the running back position. We needed more out of the running back position. We didn't quite get it. I'm giving the running backs a C. I'm giving my O-line, holy cow. I gotta give the O-line. I gotta give the O-line a D. The tackles were that bad today. The interior I thought played solid. They weren't perfect either, if you go back. But the O-line definitely by far their worst game of the season, which is crazy because this isn't even the best defensive front they've played all season. But by far they're the worst defense. Excuse me, the worst performance they've had this season. D is what I'm giving that O-line for sure. And see, Will says O-line gets a D. Yeah. So yeah, the O-line room gets a D. I thought the wide receiver rooms, bro, I'm giving the wide receivers. You say wide receivers get a B. I'm gonna give them a B plus because Micah Pittman was doing his thing. Johnny Wilson was doing his thing. Ontario Wilson was doing his thing. When guys got opportunities to make plays, they made plays. It's just with that old line being as piss poor as it was. And I'm going to get the tight ends, man. Again, I thought that was the best game as a tight end group that we've had here under Mike. I'm giving the tight ends, with my low expectations, I'm giving the tight ends an A. Thought the tight ends played Marcus Douglas is turning into a player that I didn't think we had. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was a pipe dream. I thought whatever they thought he was or could be was something that they drew up in their own mind, and that I didn't see it. And Douglas is showing that he's getting better. He's getting better. And all of a sudden, you might actually have a play there. So as far as I'm concerned, the tight end is an A, because I have terrible expectations for the tight end room. So tight end looked good to me. Wide receivers get C+, tight ends were solid. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's move to the defensive side of the ball. D-ends. First half, the D-ends get a flat out F. But all of a sudden, they start playing Jared Verse in the second half. They start playing a lot more Patrick Payton in the second half. And all of a sudden, that F goes to what? A B? B+? If you play Verse the whole game, we're not even having this conversation, maybe. I'm going to give the D-ends a D. Excuse me, a C. I'm giving the D-ends a C because it was an F in the first half and maybe a B or an A in the second half. So as a whole, I will give my D-ends a C. But at this point, is it not apparent? It's got to be apparent at this point. Peyton needs to play more. Patrick Payton needs to play more. D tackles. Joshua Farmer came alive in the second half. We started seeing a lot more of a hold on. I think Verse, man, I still think Verse could have played way more snaps than he played today. Definitely need Scott back. But we're on D tackles, man. Lions got more playing time. Joshua Farmer got more playing time in the second half. In the first half, a F. They played a little better in that second half, obviously. If I gave the D ends a C, I'm going to give the D tackles a D+ or a C-. They're kind of in the same category. Second half, the whole unit as a whole played better. But again, that comes to that personnel thing I was talking about earlier. They got to figure out personnel and playing the right guys. And unfortunately, it might be time to just move on from certain guys, man, unfortunately. Every time they wait till I get on the computer to start acting up, man. Every time. Linebackers. Let's go to the linebackers. Again, they played terrible in the first half. We saw a bunch of number 46 out there. I'm all for 46. I actually like Lundy. Believe it or not, I like him as a player. He's limited. The greatest thing that happened to this defense was Tatum Bethune. Because he's an every down backer, and he lets you use Lundy in key spots that are tailor-made for his skill set. The greatest thing that's ever happened to this defense is Tatum Bethune. But Tatum Bethune, I guess, is banged up. So Lundy gets way more playing time in the first half than he needed to have. Way more playing time than he needed. And it was apparent. It was glaring. In that second half, what do? They go more with Brendan Gant, and we see a lot more Tatum Bethune. And that's why I'm really questioning this personnel usage. Why did Bethune and Verse play so much in the second half and not in the first half? If they could have played that much in the second half, they could have played in the first half. How hurt are they really? We got to, again, look in the mirror, man, in this Lundy should be playing a safety. Oh, should be playing a safety instead of Lundy. I'm with you, bro. Play Gant instead of Lundy. Play Gant. Play Sidney Williams. I'm with you. Listen up, like that's probably Sam. I'm with you, Sam. Like, man. So back to my grade. I'll get a linebackers like that's another C for me because you played so poorly in the first half. But when you started switching up the personnel, they took Lundy ass off the field. All of a sudden, them linebackers played better in that second half. And let's go to the secondary for my final grade because we're not even gonna do the kicking game because we know that's a flat out F. Safeties continue to be the bright spot, which we kind of knew going into the season that we had two of the better safeties. It's sad that, and I really think it just has to do with Marion Cooper hasn't been healthy. A position that we thought one side of we thought the Ronaldo Green side of the secondary would be the question, where Ronaldo Green, who didn't have his greatest game today, but he also didn't play his worst. He played in a way that the defense was kind of designed to give up the plays this game. Again, they wanted to play too high back and man up, and they didn't really give up any big plays. But that other corner, man, is tough. But again, personnel, all of a sudden, they played better when we started seeing more of 20 in the game. Also, Wake went more run game heavy down the stretch, so that kind of took away from putting our DBs in any critical or bad positions. I think the defense as a whole, man, that's another C. Like, I can't give the secondary too much more. So you just got a bunch of C's across the board, and that wasn't good enough to beat Wake Forest. And yeah, the kicking game's an F. I will say the kick return game was good today, though. Punt return and Benson be feeling it back there. You can tell, like, he be ready to take them things back. And Benson had a good return. Pittman had a good return, man. So like we working through it. Ultimately, man, bad game. They played a bad game, bad 4 quarters of football, but let it go, move on, man. Unless y'all got anything else for me tonight, that is it. They got to really have a good discussion. I believe this staff has to sit down though and have a discussion about personnel usage. That is the big takeaway to me from this game. Some of the guys that maybe we like because they've stuck with, we like D-Mac because he stuck with Florida State through all the bullshit. We like some of these players, right, bro? Because they stuck with us through all the bullshit. And I get it. But Patrick Payton's a better football player, bro. Patrick Payton's just better. I don't know if Julian Armella's better than Darius Washington, but I've seen Darius Washington for about 4 or 5 years already. He can't be too much worse. So it's the personnel stuff that I think they have to say, man, some of these guys that we've been playing, I don't know. Maybe it's time to go with some of these other guys. Like, that's why you bought Patrick Payton then, right? Because you saw the bend. Yeah, he was a little undersized. He was undersized coming to high school, but once you got the weight on him, you always said it. He's got the tools. Well, he's starting to show the tools. It's time to play him. And some of these other guys too. AZ, you got him. You raved about him all off season. Put him in the game. Same thing with Julian Armella. You raved about him all off season. Well, I know we didn't want the injuries, but Bless Harris ain't coming back. Scott is game to game. Put Armella in the game because he can't be any worse than what you're toting out there. So I think the personnel stuff is something that they got to figure out leading into NC State, and just get healthy. But 4-1, no need to completely throw the whole season away after one game, guys. I think we'll be okay. But we knew this was a tough 3-game stretch, and it's showing to be a tough 3-game stretch. Irv says, guys, I'm watching this NC State versus Clemson, and I don't see us beating neither one of them. Sorry. Damn, Irv's out of it. Irv says we going 0-3. Why do you think they went away from Johnny? I don't know if they went away from Johnny, but Pittman was feeling it. I think we just have a bunch of good options at receiver, to be honest with you. Verse Briggs, Coop Payton should be starting lineup. Definitely Verse and Payton should be your bookends. I agree with that. And if Fabian Lovitz is hurt, yeah, probably move Briggs inside because Briggs ain't getting it done at DN. I don't disagree. How do I think the officiating was? I don't think much because it didn't cost us the game. I don't really, it didn't cost us the game. Palm Beach Kane, what's up with you? Says Clemson and NC State are for real. So is Middle Tennessee State. SEC refs suck. And after those first two drives, we did a little bit. No Jared Coop. That's all I got tonight, guys. I'm going to go watch this game and see what they looking like. Hopefully this Missouri and Georgia score stays pat because that'd be awesome to see. So we can't feel too bad if Georgia can lose to Missouri, right? So it's all good for the State fans. We still in the mix, man. We still in the mix. Hey, man, just bad. We finally lost the game. September was fun while it lasted. Now move on to October. And let's hope we can obviously we ain't going undefeated in October, but we can still win some games out here. But unless anybody got anything else, it's your boy Polk. So hey, that's a year ago, big dog. We on to the next year. Y'all just lost. We ain't worried about last year. If that's the case, yeah, we whooped y'all last year too. So keep up. Have a great night, y'all. Peace out to everybody. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, make sure you hit on the way out. It's your boy Polk over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, Seminoles. And we at ya.